Hello everyone, welcome to the Lawcast. My name's Melanie Thorley and this is Christy Santana.
Welcome back.
And we're sitting further apart today because of the obvious issues we've got with
you'll all be able to see the date of when this was filmed and you'll know that we're in restrictions again for another week.
Yeah, we talked
never
about
ending.
We talked about this, didn't we? We were wondering why the footballers are coming in and not shutting the borders.
Well, I mean, it comes to it. Here's alright, question.
Go on.
Would you rather our government just flat out admit that there are different rules for different people, or are you happy with this? It seems abundantly clear, but
no one's talking about the elephant in the room. I like talking about the elephant.
Yeah,
but
so just say it.
Yeah, just
say look, they bring in economic activity.
We're getting these people across because it's great for the economy. We're having a hard time at the moment, so everyone else, you can suck it, but these guys are coming over.
Because that's very different to what
yeah, but now they're talking
do.
about bringing their families over, and
I saw that they denied that, which is good.
Like,
come on, there are FIFO workers who, heaps of people do it. Heaps of people work, away from home for a short period of time.
And I know I shouldn't see it this way, but these guys are earning a lot of money. Mm. They can suck it up for a little bit.
That's part of and parcel of it.
Yeah.
But don't you think though, if you come out and say, look, the reason we're giving a different rule for this person is for this reason, then every other person says, my company brings in this amount of money. I should also
maybe, but there's always different roles. We've had movie stars come in and out without any type of, with impunity. Mm. I know they slammed those rich boaters recently, but I think that was just because they were cashed up bogans.
Tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah, cashed up bogans and didn't want them in here or whatever,
I don't know,
If they're important, they get in. If they're not important, they don't. Look, I would rather the government be a bit more open and honest about it than pretend that it's not happening, because it is happening.
Because it is, and we all know it.
Or at least explain why they think it's not the thing that we think it is.
So, just
come out with it. We are letting these people in, not because they're rich or because they're footballers and we think they're going to bring a lot of money into the country, but for all these unique reasons that you don't know about.
And then explain the unique ones, or just say that there are unique circumstances?
Yeah, explain it. Tell us why it's different for A, B and C than it is for E, F, G.
Oh.
Why not? If it's not as blatant as what we think it is,
then let us know.
Tell us. Educate us.
But the problem is it is...
Well, that's the problem.
The elephant does exist.
Yeah, the elephant's there. They're up to mischief.
And... but one of the things that annoys me though is that the NRL has a different standing compared to other sports.
Yeah.
I would be happy with...
They're not letting the cricketers in, or the basketballers.
And I would be happy for them to say, look, sport, we all love sport. We're going to put it on a higher pedestal compared to the different other industries, which we don't obviously love as much.
Yeah, this is true. But where does it end?
With sport.
With all sport. Any sporting person who needs to be in Queensland can come in. See, this is the problem. That's everyone. Because Australia is full of sportsmen.
Oh, so, okay. I'll draw it at professional sport.
Professional sport.
Because you're right.
Yeah.
Dave's local cricket, indoor cricket team.
That's right.
Have an away game in Sydney.
That's right.
Everyone's just organising these away games on the other side of Australia to make sure that they can get across.
That's right.
Okay, I get that, but I don't know. I don't like the secrecy. I don't like how it's just all...
It's the transparency that we're missing here. What is the reason why these people are able to do that? But to be fair, she hasn't just shut the borders and opened it for these guys. She's left it open.
True.
And I think she's done that because she couldn't do the other thing easily, which is close the borders but let these guys in.
Oh, okay. Or close it the second they come, because that's...
Which is what I think she's going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she will. But that's also the elephant in the room.
Isn't it interesting, though, that, we've been talking about this and we say, she'll do this, or, Dan Andrews going to do that, it almost feels like in times of trouble...
He's a single individual.
We like reverting to the the monarchy or the dictatorship kind of idea, that there is one person who decides everything.
But she's there every day standing up saying, this is what I'm going to be doing. So she's they take on the role.
Yeah,
they're taking the role, and if it's not her making the ultimate decision, then who is making the ultimate decision?
Well, do you think there are, like, do you think it is actually just like 3 or 4 people kind of deciding this?
I think there's one person making a decision with hopefully many advisors who know better about the thing that they need to make a decision on. Because it's a little bit like business, isn't it? We, as business people, don't know everything.
No.
But we can turn to somebody, get their opinion and make a decision as to what we want to do. I'd like to think it's a little bit like that. We've voted someone in to make the ultimate decision, but that decision is backed by not a egotistical I am right type of Trumpist attitude, but more of a, inquisitive, what could be right here, let's talk to the right people, and then make a decision based on what they think is right and wrong. And this happens in the past. There might be people out there who are a little bit too young to remember, but years ago when England decided, the UK decided to invade Iraq because they thought there were weapons of mass destruction there. There were a lot of people, myself included, that didn't think that was true, and they just wanted to get in to kill Saddam and to take the oil. And there were literally 1 million people that protested on that day, and I was one of them. I was there, but Tony Blair still went forward and did it anyway, because actually you don't make decisions based on popular sort of...
Well, it sort of comes back down to the problem with, I suppose, representational governance, which is once you've got a mandate, we're not going to everyone about decisions, even the big ones, really, like going to war. We just put people in charge who we hope
can make the right decision on whether that's a good idea or not. Yeah, and the same thing happened with, I was in Belgium at the time, but there was this petrol crisis where the trucks weren't coming into the UK and being stopped at the ports for some sort of trucking dispute.
It was a massive dispute.
It was a massive. I didn't quite understand it all because I wasn't actually in the country at the time. But it was something to do with the petrol. And Tony Blair, again, he said, no, you can try to cripple us, and we may even be crippled, but I'm still not going to give in. And he didn't. And Thatcher did exactly the same thing back in the 70s, I believe, with the unions.
Jeez, those English can be stubborn.
Bloody-minded, because Thatcher, they had all these sympathetic strikes. So if you were...
The bus drivers start striking because the coal miners are striking.
Yeah, and because the teachers are striking, so they had all these sympathetic strikes, and there was enough, and Thatcher had enough of it. And she said, I'm going to go no further, and you can just strike, I'm not giving in. And there was a strike for 2 years. Yeah, 2 years.
What?
People were unemployed for 2 years because they were striking.
But they're like, how are they getting food on the table?
Well, this is the thing. There was all this kind of stuff going on where the unions would provide you with some money so you could pay for food, and there was a subsistence living type of situation, and it became very poor. There was a lot of poverty at that time, massive poverty. But Thatcher never gave in.
And well, she won in the end.
She actually won it in the end.
Stubbornness.
Her stubbornness played out. I mean, and whether you love her or you hate the woman, she made decisions based on unpopular opinion because she thought it was the right thing. And
maybe that's what we need as countries, though. Always play to what's the popular decision, because people don't know what's good for them.
Every politician that's put their hand up to say climate change is a bad thing, let's see if we can do something about it, has been here in Australia. Every single one of them. So what do you do about it? Because not only does the country want to lop your head off, but your own party does it too.
Yeah, because if you are one of the if you're on one of the marginal seats, that guy's decision costs you your job.
That's right.
But maybe the problem is, I think Australia's terms are far too short. Far
3-year terms.
Far too short.
Well, Queensland's just gone to 4.
4.
Just now.
Heading in the right direction, but I think it should personally be like 5 or 6.
Ooh, okay. So they can actually do something.
So they can actually do things.
Well, you spend a year getting in, then you got to get settled, and then you spend a year kind of doing it, and then you spend a year trying to do it again.
And you do nothing on your last year because you don't want to piss anyone off.
Because you don't want to piss anyone off, and this is where ScoMo is at the moment.
Yeah, you just do nothing. You do the bare minimum, which is not good for the country, but it's good for politics.
Well, it's certainly good for your job.
Yeah, but if you have a 5-year one, well, look, you can break some eggs. You've got some time to recover.
To recover from it.
But the problem is we've got this real distrust of governments. So the idea that we won't be able to, lop someone off that we don't like, we'll have to wait years to do it.
Well, we recently had it. We had the what's his name? The guy with the hat.
The hat.
Oh, he was.
The hat.
He's in the Liberal National Party.
Oh, Barnaby.
Barnaby Joyce. All of a sudden, he's now not a backbencher. He's up front because they managed to get rid of the last guy. And I don't even know how that's allowed. They just have a private vote and decide who they like the most.
No, it's just who's in charge. I mean.
Yeah.
You remember, you still vote for the party. You don't vote for the...
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? When we don't have a hierarchical system here where you actually vote for the person in charge, you vote for the party and hope the person they put there is the right guy or girl for the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I think it should be longer.
Politics, people.
Politics.
Yeah, you can... Please don't write, and we're just...
It's a dangerous... What do they say? You should never talk about religion, politics and... money or something?
Religion, politics and money, maybe. It's like never having children or pets at a wedding.
I haven't heard that.
I haven't heard that.
So I've been to plenty of weddings and there's children and pets. Maybe not pets so much, but...
And so in the wedding party, the children, the young ones?
When you say like the wedding party, you mean like the...
Going down the aisle, holding the kid.
Flowers and
have you ever went to a wedding?
Plenty.
And they've all gone really smoothly, the kid hasn't done anything stupid?
No.
That is why.
No, definitely not. No. In fact, I'm not sure I've seen one where it...
hasn't gone awry.
They don't all... Not every kid is a problem, but if you've got 10 kids, one's going to be the problem.
There's always some crier there. There's always some 3-year-old that wants to get down. There's always someone who wants to run around. And we've got a particular view on children. And those who are...
you can go a couple of podcasts back.
Yeah, those who are regular watchers can certainly listen to us about that. But why bring a kid to an event that takes 2 hours? That they have to sit quietly at.
I was fine with the 2 hours.
What the hell is the point of that?
Well, I mean, what else are they supposed to get a babysitter?
Get a babysitter. Don't infect us with all that noise.
Infect us with the noise. I mean, if you think about it like this though, if you're going to do like the sit down kind of wedding, which a lot of people do, you can expect to spend at least $100 a head. Like $100 a seat. Kid takes up a seat.
Yeah, the kid takes up a seat, but also the parent is not watching the wedding. The parent is looking after the kid, getting up, going out, doing this, not eating, getting up in the middle of a ceremony, leaving, all this sort of rubbish in the middle of, speeches. You've got some crying kids, so they have to get up and leave. And are these people all just exhibitionists?
Well, maybe the answer is to what the Middletons did in, I think it was Pippa Middleton's wedding. Kate Middleton became like you sacrifice one person for the best of everyone.
She was the kid
she was
after.
Yeah, she was like the kid walker for the 10 kids. She was like in charge of all 10.
Oh.
So her time's going to be average. Let's be honest. But everyone else will be fine. So
well, just put the kids in a different room.
I think that's kind of the idea.
Yeah, have them sit at a different table, a different room, and they can throw different tantrums that we don't have to listen to.
That their cloth is actually a paper cloth, so they can write on the...
They can do whatever they like. They don't have to be around the adults who can know how to sit still.
Well, most of them do, yeah.
I mean, it's bad enough having to sit through all the wedding speeches.
Oh, it's boring enough. It's boring enough for everyone.
Boring enough to do that, than having to listen to somebody's kid that ultimately screams because they've had enough, which is reasonable. You know, children don't have the same sensibilities as adults. When they're bored, tired, angry, hungry, they just make a noise about it.
Maybe that adds the pizzazz you need. Because no one likes a wedding where there isn't a little
drama,
bit of risk involved. You know, there's that one guy that...
Surely there's always a wedding party guest that's not a child that can provide that risque situation.
You've got to have the drama. There's got to be that one... You know, that one uncle that, you know, no one... Don't give him the microphone, you know. Or,
the guy that heckles from the corners.
There's nothing more boring than a, you know, perfectly well put together family.
Yeah, or the workmate that gets super sloppy.
There's got to be someone. There's got to be some drama around, or someone who gets, you know, hushed away from the wedding because they've done something silly. You know, it's got to have that.
Yeah, maybe. So what, people are putting their children in the firing line simply to give the drama.
Watch them run around on the dance floor.
Give them a bit of
raspberry. Chicky and stuff.
Give them a bit of raspberry drink and let them go for it.
Do you know that I think that's like a myth?
Raspberry doesn't make kids go crazy.
Like, this sounds...
Well, neither of us are parents, by the way.
And neither of us are scientists, because I heard this on a quiz show. Now, quiz shows can be wrong.
Yes.
And there are kind of some examples of it, but they claimed that sugar doesn't make kids any more or less hypo.
Right.
Sounds crazy, but their thing was basically...
Kids are hypos. Deal with it.
Just confirmation theory.
Okay.
It's also why people think that the red drink is... Like, they've all got roughly the same amount of sugar, apparently. But the red one is the one that...
The red one.
You know, the red cordial. Don't give the kids the red cordial because they'll be up the walls. No, kids probably heard it saying, they're going to go hypo now. And then they go hypo. Like...
Yeah, maybe. I think kids around kids buck each other up as well. They get more and more hyperactive because there are more and more hyperactivity going on. Not that there are any of them here today, but I have a dog and 2 cats, for those who don't watch this little cast very often. None of them are here today.
There's no points, no Willy Finding Wally?
No Finding Wally with the cats. No cats falling off the edge of the thing like they did last time.
Oh.
Yeah.
This might be a lackluster podcast.
Oh, it's not going to be fun. And every now and again, well, quite often actually, I go to a dog park. And my dog is fine when there's 1 or 2 dogs. But when there's like 20 dogs, she zooms around like a lunatic.
She's just
look at this dog. Oh my God, look at that dog. Oh, look at this dog. That dog's really interesting. Oh my God, this dog. Yeah. And they just, you know, and you just get more and more hyperactive. And maybe kids are the same. The more kids you have around them, the more hyperactive they're going to get.
Maybe we should do a study, try and get 1,000 kids together. Like, how much ruckus can we start?
Yeah, or is there a tipping point where there's just so many children, everyone calms down?
Like a cult, they'll just kind of sit down and talk to each other.
Like a cult, yeah, exactly like a cult.
I'm just, for some reason, I imagine them all just kind of in the same gown for some reason, tuning, and they just kind of all sit down in unison. That's just what came to my mind. Either that or like a crazy Woodstock kind of situation.
Yeah, I figured that. Yeah.
And if anyone out there wants to volunteer their children for our mad experiment, then all means.
The other thing I'm actually quite excited about is this concept that we might be able to bring dogs or pets on a plane. I mean, my pets are very good. They go into a little cage, they sit around, they don't bark,
Yeah, they just go sit there.
Yeah, I like it. Europe has it all over the place. I don't see why Australia can't do it. Every bloody person owns a pet here. Why the hell are we not allowing that? I mean, this weird concept that you can't have pets on a plane because of allergies. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, because we also give out peanuts on them.
It's not just that. Everybody owns a dog.
So like, yeah, but you're also not sitting next to a dog for like 10 hours.
Maybe not.
If you've got an allergy.
But I've probably got cat fur on me or dog fur on me right now. If you had an allergy, you'd be experiencing that and you're at work. I just don't understand it. Why is this allergy thing such a big deal? And how many people actually have a pet allergy to the point where they don't... Because it might be like going out and getting pollen, bit of a sniffly nose, you sneeze a couple of times, you take an antihistamine, life's good again. I'm not sure what the drama is.
But yeah, it's proof in the pudding stuff. Like,
yeah.
Broadly, you think that this would be an issue. Like, if you just think about it, you go, oh, look, there are a lot of things you can think about that could go wrong.
God.
But I've been on these planes. Like, I've been to America and stuff, and I personally haven't actually seen a pet on board.
Really?
I've seen one who was a guide dog, but that's a bit different. But I've been on plenty of planes which are eligible for this.
Yeah.
They just...
I've probably been...
It's expensive and, you know...
Yeah, well, it's true.
Is there a need for it?
I guess maybe in Australia people have big dogs, and that might be a problem. Having a, a Doberman or a Rottweiler.
It's also very large humans.
trying to sit on a... But a human will sit on a chair. How are you going to get the Rottweiler on the chair? I guess. But...
Are the pets supposed to... Where do they go?
Well, in Europe, it's mainly you're not walking them through the aisle on a lead. You've got them in like a little handbag or a little...
Do they?
Yeah, they pop out and they go on the seat next to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they do take a seat and you do pay for a seat. But they come out of their nice little, handbag or little backpack or whatever it is, and then they get popped into the seat next to them, and they just sit there and they curl up and go to sleep. I have never actually heard. I've been on lots of flights in Europe where literally there are pets around me and never heard one bark.
Well, actually, I'll go even a step further why I think it's like a proof in the pudding stuff. Everyone has phones. And every funny / crazy / irresponsible / really inconsiderate thing that happens on a plane has been filmed, right?
This is true.
People... I'll get to a different story later, but... if there was a situation where a dog did something,
surely that would go viral.
Right?
Where is it?
But we haven't seen it,
no.
And this has been a thing for years now.
We've got babies crying, we've got people farting, we've got people throwing up, we've got people screaming, we've got loud conversations, we've got stupid people watching movies loud on their phones, which I won't get on my soapbox.
When they give you
what the hell?
headsets
What's wrong with your headset? Why are you listening to your headset so loudly? I can hear it. We're right next to each other. I do not want to watch your television show. It's that sort of thing. But all that shit goes on. But having a pet who is basically just going to curl up and go to sleep is a problem.
Yeah, probably. With
all those screaming children and drunk adults around, this is the least of my problems.
That's true. I mean, I reckon I'm not a very tolerant person on planes, it should fairly be said. I'm not exaggerating here. I don't think I've gone a single flight...
without hating someone.
Without an enemy. And I think...
An enemy?
Tell me if you're the same, but you find one person, and it doesn't have to be a big
focus
thing.
on it.
They've talked to you when they're going in, or they took too long to put their bags up.
Yeah.
And held everyone up, or I don't like everyone standing up instantly. One
of my pet hates are these females who bring all their bags on the planes and then inevitably need help to put them up.
Oh, you're on your own. You make your bed, you lie in it.
It's like, dude.
Just pay extra money for the...
Yeah. Why are you dragging on the plane 4 handbags and now you need some strong male to help you put your bag up? And what the hell's wrong with you? They're only meant to weigh 6 kilos as it is.
Yeah, because they don't though.
No, they don't. They weigh
12.
12 or 15, yeah. And I'm just like... it bothers me because we've got women who want equality, but they also want that.
Yeah, but I reckon this will be a good one, but write to us about your pet gripes on a plane.
Oh, yes.
There are millions, but there was one incident that I think my enemy on this particular flight actually was something which is, objectively bad enough. So midway through the flight, I'm not kidding, the person behind me's bare foot went through the gap in the seat.
Oh! Did Did you pour your drink on it?
Sitting right here, like here.
What made them think that was a good idea?
I don't know, but here I am. I was young.
Are you a passive aggressivist?
I was like 8 years old, so I dealt with it.
That's a real shame.
You better believe every day of my life I regret not tickling their feet.
Yeah.
Just a boom.
Yes, well anyway, and however horrible I am about people who get on flights and piss me off, I was looking, we should do a bit of law, so this is called the Lawcast.
I mean, we can talk about
other
the millions of reasons why you can annoy me on a plane. And one day I will go I don't know if it'll ever happen, but one day I will go a flight without an enemy.
I love how you call them enemies.
Oh, that's my level. And I remember them.
That's the level of antagonising.
I remember them.
Yeah, I'm just one of those people. Just stay away from me. You know, once you've bothered me and I've had my piece, I'm pretty much okay. But just stay away from me. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
what's the law for this week?
Yeah, well, I was looking at this legal alert: continuous service not broken by resignation and subsequent re-employment.
So what have they done?
Well, it says here, employee's continuous service was not broken by a resignation as a full-time employee and subsequently re-employed as a casual. Of the Fair Work Commission finding the employment relationship continued, meaning the employment met the minimum period to be protected under unfair dismissal. So, first of all, this is not about whether the dismissal was unfair or not. This is about the threshold question of didn't reach the 6 month employment. And it doesn't really provide me with much information in this alert. The Fair Work Commission found the casual employment for 3 months from the 2nd of September was regular and systematic and therefore fine. And she'd signed a contract. Fair Work Commission not broken by a resignation from full-time employment. This meant that the employee met the minimum employment period. So I was wondering about this because that's all it says. So I'd have to actually read the case. And I'm sorry, people, I know it's called the Lawcast and I haven't actually read the case. But I was thinking about this. So what we're saying is you could start with somebody, resign, come back to them a week later, which is, I don't know how amount of time is enough.
Yeah,
is it a day? Is it a week?
Days. Is it an hour? Is it a month?
Is it a month?
2 years? You know, like what do
you how long is long enough? And it hasn't said there whether they're counting that week as part of the continuous, or they're just saying they've got 6 months because they were there for 6 months and 1 week, for instance. So I was thinking about this. If someone resigns and comes back, and it's considered to be the same as when they left, doesn't this just kind of prejudice every employer out there who decides, how do people manage that moving forward? I mean, maybe the answer is there's not many people who resign and then come back.
Yeah, but just because something doesn't happen very often doesn't mean you don't have to address it. But maybe the answer to what they did in between, what happened, the reason why they resigned in the first place, and
they came back as a casual, so that's an interesting.
So they resigned, say, look, I
can't work full time anymore. It's just it's killing my family. I don't know, whatever reason. I don't like getting up early, whatever.
Maybe. See, I think that it's probably, and this is not based on these kind of laws, but let's, for example, say they went, I can't work full time anymore, and then and it's a really kind of informal kind of separation where they go, oh, look, I don't think we can,
find you another job.
Okay, well,
I'll call it quits then.
And then, the weekend happens, for example, a couple of days, and then they go, oh, actually, we actually really like, I don't know, Greg. Do you think maybe we can get him a casual position? And they kind of do the thing and then they bring him back. I can kind of see why that might be perceived as...
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, I guess you're right. What happens in between? Are they sitting there in discussions about what to do next, or has that person gone off and got another job, for instance?
Yeah, I think the job thing would be quite a problem. But
this is like the same question, well, not the same question, but it's an interesting problem when people go on sick leave and look for other work.
Yeah.
It's kind of, and they're doing a job while on sick leave.
Yeah.
But I wonder where the wiggle room is there, because let's say the reason you're on sick leave, for instance, is because of work-related stress.
Yeah.
And you do a different job, and
which doesn't have that stress.
Doesn't have that stress. Completely different job, for instance. Well, why would? Are we talking about a blanket no-no, or are we talking about a situational no-no? Are we? Why do we say that it's not okay? Why do we say it's okay to have a job while you're on holidays, but it's not okay to have a job while you're on sick leave? I know it's a fitness for work issue, but if you're not fit for work because it's a stress-related issue because of work.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to be able to distinguish, though, that you aren't fit to work at that place.
Yes.
Not just generally.
Yeah, because
if you're generally fit, well, it's actually a deception thing.
Yes.
It's a dishonesty thing. But provided, I mean, there are situations like, let's think of this. You can't be a builder because you have dodgy knees. Right? So you take, it could be a significant amount of time off, and you're doing your sick leave. But your doctor thinks it's perfectly fine for you to sit.
Be a bookkeeper, for instance.
So, you're not fit to do the builder, but you're absolutely fit to do that. I don't see any issue with that.
Yeah, but is it the fact that you're getting paid twice? Because it doesn't seem to matter if you're on holidays.
I don't think people like the double dipping.
No.
But when you break it down.
Because lots of people take a second job on holidays.
Really?
Yeah, they do. Like, let's consider FIFO workers, for instance.
True.
Lots of FIFO workers have other businesses, and they'll take time off to run that business.
I can kind of see that, but so what you're saying is, where's the difference?
Yeah.
I think it comes.
It's a fitness for work thing, right?
I think people's dislike of doing a second job when you're sick is the dishonesty.
Yeah, but
most of the time it's dishonesty.
Yeah, but I'm creating a scenario where you're not fit to do that job.
Yeah, but I think people, it still comes back to the dishonesty. They don't think that not all cases clearly are as easy as my knee situation. Most of them are. Like, with the work-related stress things, are you saying that workplace is different to another? And it's blurred lines, and people think that you're lying.
I think they are, but I think it goes to the same question as this. There's obviously wiggle room. Because if there's wiggle room that employment's not severed, then there's got to be wiggle room the other places.
Of course,
just finding it.
That's why we have a job.
Well, that's it.
That is why lawyers exist.
Well, that's it, everyone. This is why we talk about these things in the Lawcast as well, because quite often, sometimes these things are uncertain.
Yeah.
And it's interesting actually. We get a lot of inquiry calls, and I mostly take them, and I give people preliminary advice. And the preliminary advice I give is based on the limited information I get 10 minutes info, 20 minutes of some advice, and then they move on. And sometimes they come back to us and say, well, I'd like to do that. And when we look at it more closely, we don't see the same set of circumstances because we have more information.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how often our clients find that unsatisfying.
Yeah.
Because they want my preliminary information or advice to be right. And for all intents and purposes, it is with the information I have, but then more information comes and it becomes obvious that something else might be right. So law is just not that simple.
No.
Absolutely.
If every case was the same, there would be no lawyers in the world.
I think
plenty.
If you go back to one of our old Lawcasts, we talked about one simple question. One quick question.
Yeah, there's no such thing.
There's
actually no such thing.
Do you remember we talking about one quick question and what that looks like in reality? But that's something to think about, isn't it? There isn't one quick question in law, unfortunately.
I don't think there's one quick question.
Oh, it's very...
If you ask a doctor, I've just got this one little issue.
There's
no such thing.
No such thing.
There's no such thing.
Well, everyone, thank you for watching and listening to the Lawcast. I forgot, we've got some really exciting information. You've been promoted to associate.
Associate.
So Chris is, I should say for all our listeners, Chris has been promoted to associate this week.
Yes,
and shout out to Christy Santana.
Thank you.
It's very, very exciting. So we'll end on a very happy note, and if anybody can write in or say their
always happy to
congratulations.
take a few congratulations.
Absolutely. We're all very excited here to have Chris as an associate. So thank you very much for watching and listening to the Lawcast. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
See you next time.